Well, for more, let's cross live now to our correspondent in Dakar, Sam Bradpiece. Sam, just talk to us firstly about how significant this Supreme Court decision is. Sonko, he had filed to stand in next month's presidential election.
This most recent ruling from the Supreme Court really does feel like a nail in the coffin for Ousmane Sonko's presidential ambitions. The court essentially rejected an appeal lodged by Sonko's lawyers against a guilty verdict handed to him last year for defaming a government minister that Sonko had accused of essentially stealing public money. Now, even if the Supreme Court had ruled in favour of Ousmane Sonko and his team yesterday, it's still difficult to see how he could have run in the presidential election because this opposition leader is facing so many legal difficulties. He's already been found guilty of corrupting the youth for his involvement essentially in a sex scandal. That was a decision that also came last year. And he's been under detention since July for charges including insurrection. So really, just to nail the point, this most recent ruling is just the latest in a flurry of rulings which essentially rule Ousmane Sonko out of the presidential race, which is due to take place next month.
And Sam, will his supporters accept this decision from the Supreme Court? The standoff involving Sonko, it's lasted more than 2 years and sparked several episodes of deadly unrest there.
Mr. Sonko and his supporters have always maintained that all of the accusations, all of the charges, all of the verdicts against him have been orchestrated essentially in a bid to sideline him from the presidential race. And that really is quite a deeply held conviction among many of his followers and did help fuel that deadly violence that we saw last year in Senegal, which was actually the most violent period in the country's post-independence history. Mr. Sonko's lawyers, following this recent ruling, have said that they will continue to fight on, but it's difficult to see how they can appeal through the courts, considering that the Supreme Court was the one who made this most recent decision. His party have issued a statement essentially underlining the point that they believe this most recent decision, like the others, has been politically motivated.